Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel and a brand new tank in the game. It is the Keiler, the Keiler, however you want to call it. Basically, it is an E75 TS with a leather kind of turret, which we will have a look at the armor profile shortly. But let's compare it to that of the E75. So the DPM is a little bit less than the E75 TS at 2168. The penetration is slightly higher, and the alpha is slightly higher as well. Other than that, all the stats are pretty much worse than the E75 TS. So the aim time 2.17, not bad for the aim time, to be honest, but it's not as good as the TS. And the dispersion is 0.317, exactly the same as the TS. Gun depression, however, is only 8 degrees, still good, but E75 TS is 10 degrees of gun depression. And the speed is slightly faster as well, but you're not really gonna notice 2 kilometers per hour. Not too bad. I mean, the view range exactly the same, HP exactly the same. Armor is slightly worse on this than the E75 TS. The hull is the same, however, at 150 millimeters. So not too bad, but currently I just think, like, what's the point buying this tank if you own a E75 TS already? Like, there's no point buying this tank. I'm not saying it's a bad tank. By all means, it's not a bad tank, but if you do have an E75 TS, stick with the E75 TS until at least this comes for a lot cheaper. So you can see all the pink on the armor profile is spaced armor, so if anyone starts shooting heats or HE, it's only going to absorb, and it's not going to do no damage. So if people shoot heat at your tracks, you're not going to do any damage whatsoever. So you can see the turret here. Now, if you're looking directly at a tank, if you're looking sort of with your, say, 8 degrees of gun depression, even the side bit of you can see the orange, you can't now, but now you can see the orange at the side of either side of the turret, but that's still 320 millimeters effective. But as soon as you start moving your gun, that becomes a lot weaker. As you can see, 140, 160, and it just becomes a lot more weaker. So you need to be looking directly at a tank for your armor profile to be somewhat decent. And of course, if you're in a hold down position, I would still recommend sort of wiggle your turret, because you do have that massive gun mantlet that people can't penetrate. So if someone's looking at you, just keep wiggling your turret and hope that they will shoot that gun mantlet. So upper plate here, you got, if you're looking directly, you have over 335 millimeters. Obviously, the more gun depression you use, the higher that goes up. But the higher that goes up, the lower plate goes, or the more the lower plate goes down. And of course, the less you're using of gun depression, then yeah, it becomes a lot weaker. But looking directly at a tank, obviously the armor profile is pretty solid. If you're side scraping here, you can see the armor profile isn't too bad. Now, you're going to see in a few games that it's not impenetrable. It's actually quite easy to penetrate this Keiler. But yeah, it's overall, I don't think it's a bad tank. I don't think it's a bad tank at all. But I just think right now, if you do own an E75 TS, stick with the E75 TS, because this is crates, and even when it does come back for sale, it's going to be a little bit expensive, where you might as well buy the E75 TS. Until this tank comes for around 7,500 to 8,000 gold, I would still recommend sticking with the TS for now. So you can see the tactics. If you look at Blitzhanger is really good, because it shows the tactics of the tanks in tier 8 and tier 9, and you can see peekaboo, not recommended. Frontline, not recommended. Long range sniping, good, because the accuracy is pretty good. Circle of death, not recommended. Hit and run, not recommended. 1 versus 1 brawl, not recommended. I don't completely agree with these. 1 versus 1, not too bad, to be honest. Frontline, again, not too bad, because you do have the armor profile. If you can side scrape, if you can hold down, then you still got a decent tank there. So yeah, I wouldn't completely disagree or agree with these. Of course, the long range, according to this, the tank's only good at long range sniping, but yeah, no, that's not 100% true. So yeah, overall I think it's a decent tank. It is a decent tank, but don't buy it for now. Don't buy it for now. So we're just going to go in and have a live battle for you guys, just so you can see how it plays on my just playing it live without any recording. I've recorded it as I was playing the game. So yeah, enjoy. See here, the Keiler, however you want to call it, E75. It's an E75 with a Lerva turret. If you look at the turret there of the Lerva, basically it's an E75 TS with that turret. You can see the turret of the normal E75 TS is just straight on every single corner, where this is a round turret. So we're going to have a quick live gameplay here in the Keiler. We're just going to call it this E75, because that's what it is, an E75, a different E75 TS basically. So those of you that have played the E75 TS will still know how to play this tank. It's played the exact same way. What way are you going to go, guys? What way are you going to go? So we are playing a live gameplay here, so things could go horribly wrong, but we're still going to push to the right side. Now, so as I've said, those of you that have played the E75, you'll know how to play this. It plays exactly the same as the E75 TS does, except for the turret is a little bit different. Now, you will be able to get some bounces on the turret. Of course, you will be able to get some bounces, and you will be able to get some bounces on the hull as well. Now, the upper plate will be obviously stronger than the lower plate. And as you've already seen by the stats, the accuracy is not that bad on the tank. The accuracy, the aim time, and everything like that is not bad. I say that as I've just completely fluffed my shot there. But yeah, GG T54, and you can see no problem whatsoever in them bouncing, them penning me, unless we are angled. As soon as we are angled, we can then get the bounces. Now, we do need to get into a position where we're not showing our sides, or we're not showing our turret. We need to get into a decent position, but the enemy, to be honest, are in fairly good position. They're in a decent position, and that's going to stop us doing a lot of things. But the team are behind. The team is behind, and here is the I don't really want to look at the object 252U. GG Borzik, GG indeed. So yeah, not too good at the moment, but there's only 3 tanks left alive. We haven't really been able to show just how good this tank is, because the team have just vanished. So just this Emil round here, I'm just going to turn around because he can still clear me. Let's see if I can get any bounces. Are we going to get a bounce from this guy in this position? Let's see. Yes, we actually do. We bounced 700 damage, which isn't too bad. Now, if you are face hugging, I would still recommend looking straight at the tank, because if you start turning your turret at an angle, then you will have quite a few weak points on your turret. So yeah, the upper plate is upper plate will be quite strong, but again, I think if people start switching to the premium ammo, then they're going to be able to pen you pretty much quite easily. So yeah, it's not the best of tanks. It's not the best of tanks, but it's also not the worst. Now, we're actually going to get deleted here by the defender. No, we actually get a bounce. GG, thank you. So yeah, you can see you can bounce shots. You can get some bounces in this tank, but you also, it's very easy for people to be able to penetrate you as well. So bear that in mind. As you can see, no problem whatsoever. And I think we are going to die here, but we're going to try, and hopefully my ammo rack is busted, so I think we're not going to be able to get the reload in time, unless he starts shooting a HE, and then we are going to be able to take him out. So we do get pretty lucky there with the HE. So not too bad. That was not the best of games, but it just shows you that the armor is not impenetrable. It's not great, but you can still get bounces on that tank. Now we only finished with sort of 2300 damage, 1300 block damage. So as you can see, it can still get that block damage. But yeah, it's nothing special. If you've got an E75 TS, wouldn't even think about going for this tank. Just play the E75 TS. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Overall, I don't think the tank is worth it at all. I don't think yet. Wait for it to come back for about 8,000 gold, and then maybe it will be worth it. But for now, stick with the E75 TS because it's still a good tank. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.